everyone, it's Angie from Feeling a Little Bookish. I'm just here to bring you my May TBR and also to show you guys, I want to say this is April May's box. I could be wrong, but my Mystic box. So we'll start with that first and then I'll just quickly go through my May TBR. I'm not a rep. I'm just showing you guys what's in the box. So that way, if you guys ever want to subscribe to them, it's a bi-monthly box. So it's for 2 months. So you get one box for like that 2 months. And then you get another box, 2 months. So there's one box. So you get 6 boxes in a year, bi-monthly. The author that was featured in this box is Tijan. I know I'm saying it wrong. But she has a lot of books. I haven't gotten around to reading any of her books yet, but I'm hoping to have a start with this, what was in this box. So the first item was, when you open the box, you get this card here. I'm assuming that's Carter Reed. And this is the back of it. And then you get the pin. Every box has a pin that relates to that author and like the stories that are like the books. So this one actually says, "My crew is better than yours." I'm gonna focus. Okay. And then there was a bookmark in it as well, Carter Reed. And then every box has like an artwork book. So like there's scenes from the books that it comes with in here. And then there's like a little Q&A in this one. In the last book, which was Varelli's, in the last box, which was the featured author was Varelli, there wasn't like a Q&A at the end of her book, but this one has a Q&A with the author. In every box you get a little bag that has the 2 hardcover special editions. So the first book is Carter Reed 1 because it's a duet. And I haven't read any of her books again. And these 2 books in the box, actually, this wasn't in the last box as well. There's like this little page here that says this signed edition is printed exclusively for Mystic Box. And I'll show you guys so each chapter is like this. This has to do with like the mafia. So it says, Emma decided to skip the gym and went home early. It was the last easy decision she made because she found her roommate being raped by the boyfriend, so her roommate's boyfriend. She had 2 choices, call the cops and be killed by his family's mafia connections or kill him first and hope to survive. There was no choice to her. She killed the bastard first and went to the one person who could protect her, Carter Reed. He's a weapon for the rivaling mafia family, but he's also Emma's secret. Not only was he best friends with her brother, but she's the reason he became that weapon in the first place. And then it says, this book is not for the faint of heart. And then the second book that came with the Mystic box was Coll. He's actually, from what I know, what I looked up, he's actually featured in Carter Reed. And again, it has the signed page. And it also has like details inside at the beginning of the chapters. And yeah, I think this one has to do with mafia. Yeah, he was leader of the mafia. I was about to fall in love with him, and his name is Coll Maurizio. So yeah, so this guy's actually like mafia leader. So yeah, so that's what's featured inside. Every box has like special edition hardcovers, which I love. I have to get a move on it with reading these. They're not too long as well, but yeah, it's worth it. I mean, it takes a while to get here because I'm in Canada, but I think people started receiving theirs, and then I got mine like maybe 3 weeks after. I saw on Instagram that people started receiving theirs. The next box is Pepper Winters, and that's super exciting as well. I haven't read any Pepper Winters books. I actually started Pennies by Pepper Winters a few years ago, and then I didn't have any particular reason as to why I stopped. I think I just started reading something else and kind of forgot. But but yeah, Mystic Box, if you're a dark romance lover, you definitely want to subscribe to that box. Yeah, so now we'll start with my May TBR. I'm in the middle of May, and I'm posting this just probably a few days after the middle of May. You know, one weekend my husband had to work. Next weekend my kid was sick, and then a few days after my other kid got sick, and then I got sick, and then my husband got sick. We all got sick. So now I'm finally like 98% better. So that's why I'm doing this now. But yeah, the first book on my May TBR is Bad Bad Girl by Angel Devlin. It's the second book in the Rats of Richstone duet, and I actually read it. And I'm sad that it's over. I wish, like, okay, that duet is over, but she's actually going to release another book that is in the Cheryl Manor Richstone world about a character that was featured quite a bit. Yeah, like he's Liam's best friend. No, well, he's Liam's friend from Cheryl Manor. He's gonna be like the main focus of that book. But anyway, Bad Bad Girl is like a continuation of the first book, which was Bad Bad Boy. And it starts, it continues from where the cliffhanger was in book one. There's a lot of tragedy. Phoebe's so hurt and damaged that she wants revenge on everyone. And at one point she even wants revenge on Liam. And Liam, spoiler alert, Liam actually ends up falling in love with her. And I mean, there's an HEA. It takes some time. There's a lot of events that happen. There's, you know, obviously Phoebe's parents aren't normal, and she deals with that in her way. And it was a good finale to this duet. I feel like that duet is one that I could reread. Not right now, but like at some point before the year ends, because it was that good. The next book that I read was Crazy for You by Lea Coll. This was book 4 in the Annapolis Harbor series. This one centers around Juliana and Nolan. So Juliana is a single parent. She's a mom of twin girls. Her ex is, I hate her ex. Anyway, she finally gets to start her dream of opening her B&B, but she needs a contractor, and that contractor is Nolan, and his brother is actually, I think the first book in the series is on his brother. I actually have it downloaded. I have to read it. You don't have to read it in order, because the characters from previous books are actually, like, you're given information about them that is suffice for you. Like, you don't have to read everything. It's just interconnected. It's an interconnected series. But anyway, Juliana needs a contractor, and she picks Nolan, and Nolan's just like, meh. You know, like, he's so serious at first, like, why are you bringing your daughters to the construction site? But she doesn't have anyone to watch her daughters during the week. Her ex-husband only has them, I think it's like every other weekend, or every weekend. Sometimes he doesn't even take them. And most of the time when he has his daughters, he just leaves them with his parents, and then he goes off with, like, his girlfriend or whatever. Anyway, he's selected to be the contractor for Juliana's B&B, and she has all these plans, and at first he's like, I don't think these plans are great, but if this is what you want and you need it done, then I'll do it. And you know, he's been burned in his past, and you know, obviously she has as well, because her ex cheated on her. But I you know, there is an HEA, and I just loved this book. It was so sweet. And Nolan, okay, so when I read, what was the book called? I think it was anyway, I read book 3, and that was centered around Avery and Reed. I was like, Reed is amazing. He's a football player. But Nolan, I actually like Nolan more than Reed. Nolan was like such a hero. And the girls, okay, so I don't normally like reading books that have kids in it. Um, but um, but the kids, the girls in this story, like they needed to be there because it made more sense for them to be in this book with Nolan and Juliana's whole relationship and how it like progresses and how it grows and whatnot. So the kids actually made the story more enjoyable as well. Like they had to be there. If they weren't there, it would kind of be like, but what's stopping him besides whatever happened in his past? And like she would just be like another single girl, you know what I mean? So the girls really, the twin girls really, like her twin girls really made it a good story. The third book that is on my May TBR is Reaper, which is book 4 of the Redwood Rebels series by Rachel Leigh, and it centers around Violet and Zed. And I love Violet so far, what I've read. She is so cool. She's just like, no, Zed, I'm not gonna let you have a pity party. You need to get yourself together. And yeah, I'm kind of sad too that this series is ending. Like I've read the 3 books and this is the last one. I'm just like, ugh. It's so sad whenever you finish a series because then you're like, am I gonna read something as good? Especially if you like it. Are you gonna read something as good as the series? Is the author what's coming out next? You know. But yeah, the Redwood Rebel series has been great. The next book on my TBR is A Fate of Wrath and Flame by K.A. Tucker. So I've only known her as being a contemporary, like new adult author, but at the beginning of the arc, she kind of lets you know that her first series was a fantasy series, and then she's always wanted to do fantasy, but obviously I guess as an author, you write what you feel, right? Like if you're not in the mood to write fantasy, you're not going to write fantasy. And so A Fate of Wrath and Flame is fantasy. And it centers around a girl who, from what I understood from the blurb, a girl who is sent back in time or sent to like another world. Um, And so yeah, I'm excited. I don't read fantasy often, so this should be an interesting one for me to read. From what I've skimmed so far, because I got the arc a few days ago, it's pretty cool, and I like there's like a list of how to say the names. It's cool, and the cover is beautiful. The next book that is on my list is Gothikana by Runyx. And this one is set in like a dark academia theme. It's like set in a university. It has to do with like a professor, and I'm just like, yes, dark romance, fantasy, paranormal, all this stuff. I can do it. I love it as long as there's good, steamy sex scenes. Definitely for me as well. And the next book, this is previously on my I think I had it on a previous TBR, this one and the one after it, and I didn't get to it, and I want to. I'm gonna keep putting it on my TBRs until I get to it. So the next book is His Beauty by Jack Harbon. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. That's all I'm gonna say, because once I read it, I'm just gonna want to keep talking about it. The next book that is on my list is Unconditional by Q.B. Tyler, and that one centers around Maddie and Cal. It's an age gap romance. From what I understood, Maddie witnesses her parents' demise as a little girl, and Cal is the responding officer on scene. And I believe he takes her in, and then, you know, years pass, obviously, and he, I guess there's like you know, love happenings there. And yeah, so I've read really great reviews about it, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. Next up is Boy of Ruin, which is book 4 in the Unsainted series by K.B. Rose, and this one centers again around Jeremiah, Lucifer, and my baby. Wow, I was gonna say my baby Sid. I meant Sid, Lucifer, and my baby Jeremiah, because I missed him in book 3. Although he made his appearance in book 3, I missed him. And I better have more of him. And he better get a happy ending, because I really love him. I don't like Lucifer. And next book is is The Takeover by T.L. Swan. This one's super popular. I listened to a whole podcast episode about it, and it truly convinced me to start with this one. It's part of the Mile High Club series, and this book centers around Claire, who is a single mother. Well, she's widowed, and I think she's mother to 3 boys, and she enlists Tristan to help her out with her husband's media company. And you know, there's obviously some romance there too. I can't wait to read. Again, like, from the way I understood it, the boys are an integral part of the novel, but they don't make the story suffer. They add more to the story, because sometimes kids in books can be annoying, and that's why I usually don't read books that have to do with kids, like romance books, which is crazy because I have kids of my own. But anyway, I'm looking forward to reading this book. And finally, the last book is Ecstasy by K.B. Rose. Centers around Zara, Eli, and Alex. Zara has substance abuse issues. Eli is a star athlete, and Alex, from what I understood, was just Alex. This should be interesting. It had a lot of great reviews. It's not for the faint of heart. I mean, there's a lot of trigger warnings in it as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I follow KB Rose on Instagram. And there's a lot of people upset with what I guess has happened to Eli in this book. Or at least that's what I understood. So I'll let you guys know my feelings after I read this book. Yeah, so that's my May TBR. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions or questions, just let me know in the comments below. I will, as usual, put all the titles of the novels in my my TBR in the description as well. And I will link Mystic Box's Instagram, so if you want to subscribe, you can as well. I think they have a link on their Instagram page, but I'll just link their Instagram so that way you guys can get the feel of like previous boxes and whatnot as well. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Bye.